Hey y'all, hey, so welcome to the to be continued session of Kickback Bible Study. I want to get through Deuteronomy. I want to get through chapter 26, but I don't want to overwhelm y'all, so I'm going to break it down into a few different videos. So we just finished Deuteronomy 11 through 16. We're going to bust out 17 through 22. And a lot of this is just an overview of the Levitical laws. Again, Moses is talking to the people before they go over to the promised land. So this is like one last hoorah, let me drill this in y'all head so y'all can't say y'all did not know how to live. That's what these particular chapters are. So we're gonna bust out through, we're gonna do 17 through 22 now. Chapter 17. Thou shalt not sacrifice unto the Lord thy God any bullock or sheep wherein is blemish or any evil favoredness, for this is an abomination unto the Lord thy God. If there be found among you within any of the gates which the Lord thy God giveth thee, man or woman that hath wrought wickedness in the sight of the Lord thy God, in transgressing his covenant, and hath gone and served other gods, and worshipped them, either the sun or the moon, or any of the hosts of heaven which I have not commanded, and it be told thee, and thou hast heard of it, and inquired diligently, and behold, it be true, and the thing is certain, that such an abomination is wrought in Israel, then shalt thou bring forth that man or that woman which have committed the wicked thing into thy gates, even that man or that woman, and shall stone them with stones till they die. And at the mouth of 2 witnesses or 3 witnesses shall he that is worthy of death be put to death, but at the mouth of 1 witness he shall not be put to death. The hands of the witness shall be first upon him to put him to death, and afterward the hands of all the people. So thou shalt put the evil away from among you. If there arise a matter too hard for thee in judgment, between blood and blood, between plea and plea, between stroke and stroke, being matters of controversy within thy gates, then thou shalt arise and go up into the place which the Lord thy God shall choose, and thou shalt come into the priests and the Levites and into the judge that shall be in those days, and inquire, and they shall show thee sentence of judgment, and thou shalt do according to the sentence which they of that place which the Lord shall choose to show them, and thou shalt observe to do according to all that they inform thee, according to the sentence of the law which they shall teach thee, and according to the judgments which they shall tell thee. Thou shalt do, and thou shalt decline, and thou shalt not decline from the sentence which they shall show thee, to the right hand nor to the left. And the man that will do presumptuously, and will not hearken unto the priest that standeth to minister there before the Lord thy God, or unto the judge, even that man shall die, and thou shalt put away the evil from Israel. Now, when they say presumptuously, what that means is somebody doing what it is that they want to do because they feel like they're right for whatever reason. So that's kind of like bucking authority and instruction and what you're told to do what you want to do because you feel like you're right. And all the people shall hear and fear, and do no more presumptuously, when thou art come into the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, and shall possess it, and shall dwell therein, and shall say, I will set a king over me like all the nations that are about me. Thou shalt in any wise set him a king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose from one among you, thy brethren. Thou shalt set the king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother, but he shall not multiply horses to himself, nor cause the people to return to Egypt, to the end that shall multiply horses. For as much as the Lord hath said unto you, ye shall henceforth return no more that way. Neither shall he multiply wives unto himself, that his heart turn not away. Neither shall he greatly multiply himself in silver and gold. And it shall be, when he sitteth upon the throne of his kingdom, he shall write him a copy of this law in a book out of that which is before the priests and the Levites, and it shall be with him, and he shall read therein all the days of his life, that he may learn to fear the Lord his God, and keep all the words of his law and these statutes to do them, that his heart be not lifted up above his brethren, and that he turn not aside from the commandment to the right hand or to the left, to the end that he may prolong his days in his kingdom, he and his children in the midst of Israel. Okay, so that's the end of chapter 17. Let me pull. That's giving us an overview not to be worshiping. I got the whole thing, inquire diligently in this thing, that even that woman shall stone and they die. Yeah, so don't be rotten wickedness in Israel. And it's giving us instructions on how the judgment is going to go and coming before the priest and so forth. Okay. Chapter 18. Okay, like I really don't want to be petty, But I know he see me sitting in my car. And he just sitting right next to me with his music loud. But that's fine. Chapter 18. We gonna focus. This just gonna be our background noise for a little bit. I ain't even finna look. I ain't even finna look to the side. Like, you see me with a vlogging camera. Like I got a whole light set up, y'all. But whatever. Focus, Lord. Okay. Chapter 18. The priests and the Levites and all the tribes of Levi shall have no power nor inheritance with Israel. They shall eat offerings of the Lord made by fire in his inheritance. Therefore, they shall have no inheritance. Okay, no. This is distracting me. Hey. You can roll your windows up or turn it down a little bit. I'm trying to do my Bible study. I'm going to be done in a little bit.
All right, I got you.
Wait, okay. Thank you. Okay, chapter 18. The priests and the Levites and all the tribes of Levi shall have no part nor inheritance with Israel. They shall eat the offerings of the Lord made by fire and his inheritance. Therefore, they shall have no inheritance among their brethren. The Lord is their inheritance, as he has said unto them. And this shall be the priest's due from the people, from them that offer a sacrifice, whether it be oxen or sheep, and they shall give unto the priest the shoulder, and the 2 cheeks, and the maw. The first fruit also of thy corn, of thy wine, and of thy oil, and of the first of the fleece of thy sheep shalt thou give him. For the Lord thy God hath chosen him out of all thy tribes to stand and to minister in the name of the Lord, him and his sons forever. And of the Levite, and if a Levite come from any of thy gates out of all of Israel, where he sojourned, and come with all the desire of his mind into the place which the Lord shall choose, then he shall minister in the name of the Lord his God, as all his brethren the Levites do, which stand there before the Lord. They shall have like portions to eat, besides that which cometh out of the sale of his patrimony. When thou art come into the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of those nations. There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or use divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. For all that do these things are an abomination unto the Lord. And because of these abominations, the Lord thy God drove them away out from before thee. Thou shalt do perfect with the Lord thy God, for these nations which thou shalt possess hearken unto observers of times, and unto diviners. But as for thee, the Lord thy God hath not suffered thee to do so. The Lord thy God will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto me. Unto him ye shall hearken. So that's a prophetic sentence there. He said he's going to raise up a prophet like Moses. According to all that thou desirest of the Lord God in Hebron in the day of the assembly, saying, let me not hear again the voice of the Lord my God, neither let me see the great fire anymore, that I die not. So he's saying when God tried to speak to y'all directly, y'all got scared out of the fire and the voice. So God's going to raise up a prophet so the message can be delivered less scary for y'all. And the Lord said unto me, they have well spoken that which they have spoken. I will raise him up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee, and I will put words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him. But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other gods, even that prophet shall die. And if thou say in thine heart, how shall we know the word which the Lord hath not spoken? When a prophet speaketh the name of the Lord, if the thing follow not, nor come to pass, then that is the thing which the Lord hath not spoken. But the prophet has spoken it presumptuously, thou shalt not be afraid of him. That's the end of chapter 18. So God says if a prophet comes and they say XYZ is going to happen, and it don't, that's not God's prophet. If it do, then that's somebody that you hearken unto. And then you want to have discernment, and don't get caught up in what I call pamphlet prophets, like people who have a pamphlet of all these things that are similar in the human experience. Like that's like saying like somebody coming to Florida and saying it's gonna rain next week. Like you're not prophesying, It's Florida. It's more likely than not gonna rain next week. So just really exercise discernment when testing whether somebody is a prophet. Chapter 19. When the Lord thy God hath cut off the nations whose land the Lord thy God giveth thee, and thou succeedest them, and dwellest in their cities and in their houses, thou shalt separate 3 cities for thee in the midst of thy land, which the Lord thy God giveth thee to possess it, and thou shalt prepare thee a way, and divide the coast of the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee to inherit into 3 parts, that every slayer may flee thither. And this is the case of the slayer which shall flee thither, that he may live, whoso killeth his neighbor ignorantly, whom he hated not in times past, as when a man goeth into the woods with his neighbor, and hew wood, and his hand flinch a stroke with an axe to cut down the tree, and the head slippeth from the heave, and landeth and lighteth upon his neighbor, that he die. He shall flee unto one of these cities and live, lest the avenger of the blood pursue the slayer while his heart is hot, and overtake him, because the way is long, and slay him, whereas he was not worthy of death, inasmuch as he hateth him not in times past. Wherefore I command thee, saying, thou shalt separate 3 cities for thee, and if the Lord thy God enlarge thy coast, as he has sworn unto thy fathers, and give thee all the land which he promised to give unto thy fathers, if thou shalt keep all these commandments and to do them, which I command thee to this day, to love thy Lord thy God, to love the Lord thy God, and to walk ever in his ways, and thou shalt add 3 cities more for thee besides these 3. And that innocent blood be not shed in thy land, which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance, and so blood be upon thee. If any man hateth his neighbor, and lie in wait for him, and rise up against him, and smite him mortally, that he die, and fleeth unto these cities, then the elders of his city shall send and fetch him thence, and deliver him unto the hand of the avenger of blood, that he may die. Thine eye shall not pity him, but thou shalt put away the guilt of innocent blood from Israel, that it may go well with thee. So that's giving a contrast to how the city of refuge is to be used. So it's saying, if somebody kills somebody on accident and they run to this city, then you gotta let them go, because the purpose of them being in that city is so that whoever, the people, they brother, they cousin, whoever mad about dude that got killed, can have some time to calm down, because it really was an accident, so that they don't sin and spill more innocent blood, because that man really didn't deserve to die. Now it says that if somebody lies in wait, so if you being sneaky and you trying to kill somebody because you got an issue with them, you hated them in times past or whatever, and then you think you gonna kill them and then just run to the city, it don't work like that. Elders got to go fetch them, and buddy gets called to the avenger of blood. Whoever trying to correct that, y'all come correct it. That's what that's saying. Now thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmark, which they of old time have set in thine inheritance, which thou shalt inherit in the land that the Lord thy God giveth thee to possess it. 1 witness shall not rise up against a man for an iniquity, for any sin, and any sin that he sinneth. At the mouth of 2 witnesses, or at the mouth of 3 witnesses, shall the matter be established. If a false witness rise up against any man to testify against him that which is wrong, then both the men between whom the controversy is shall stand before the Lord, before the priests and the judges, which shall be in those days. And the judges shall make diligent inquisition, and behold, if the witnesses be false, a false witness, and have testified falsely against his brother, then shall ye do unto him as he had thought to have done unto his brother. So shalt thou put the evil away from among you. And those which remain shall hear and fear, and shall henceforth commit no more any such evil among you. And thine eyes shall not pity, but life shall go for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot. Yeah, that's the end of chapter 19. So that's giving us more insight on how judgment goes. So basically, don't be lying on nobody. If you try to lie on somebody, what trouble you thought you was going to get them in, or what punishment you want to come down on them, it's going to come down on you. So don't even open your mouth and lie. And now chapter 20. When thou goest out to battle against thine enemies, and seest horses and chariots and people more than thou, be not afraid of them, for the Lord thy God is with thee, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And it shall be, when ye are come nigh unto the battle, that the priest shall approach and speak unto the people, and shall say unto them, Hear, O Israel, ye approach this day unto battle against your enemies. Let not your hearts faint, fear not, and do not tremble, neither be ye terrified of them. Be terrified because of them. For the Lord your God, he goeth out with you to fight for you against your enemies to save you. And the officers shall speak unto the people, saying, What man is there that hath built a new house and have not dedicated it? Let him go and return in his house, lest he die in battle and another man dedicate it. And what man is he that have planted a vineyard and not yet eaten of it? Let him go and return to his house, lest he die in the battle and yet another man eat of it. And what man here has betrothed a wife and have not yet taken? Oh, got cut off. Okay, have betrothed a wife and not yet taken her. Where is it at? Okay. Let him go and return to his house, lest he die in battle and another man take her. And the officers shall speak further unto the people, and they shall say, What man is there that is fearful and faint-hearted? Let him go and return into his house, lest his brethren's heart be faint as well as his heart. And it shall be that when the officers have made an end of speaking unto the people, that they shall make captains of the armies and lead the people. When thou comest nigh unto the city to fight against it, then proclaim peace upon it. And it shall be, if it make the answer of peace and open unto thee, then it shall be that all the people that is found therein shall be tributaries unto thee, and they shall serve thee. And if it will make no peace with thee, but if they will make no peace with thee, but will make war against thee, then thou shalt besiege it. And when the Lord thy God hath delivered it unto thine hands, thou shalt smite every male thereof with the edge of the sword. But the women and the little ones and the cattle and all that is in the city, even all the spoils thereof, thou shalt take unto thyself, and thou shalt eat the spoil of thy enemies, which the Lord thy God giveth thee. So he's saying, when you come to these cities, if they want to fight, fight them. If they ain't trying to fight, then they will just be your servants. You ain't got to fight them if they ain't trying to fight. Thus thou shalt do unto all the cities which are very far off from thee, which are not of the cities of these nations, but of the cities of these people which the Lord thy God doth giveth thee for an inheritance, thou shalt save alive nothing that breatheth. So when he's saying, if the people want to fight, they can fight, or if they don't want to, they don't have to. This is an exception to that. It's saying, but leading up to this, but thou shalt utterly destroy them, namely the Hittites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, the Jebusites, as the Lord thy God hath commanded thee, that they teach you not to do after all their abominations which they have done unto their gods. So should ye sin against the Lord your God. When thou shalt besiege the city a long time, in making war against it, thou shalt not destroy the trees thereof by forcing an axe against them, for thou mayest eat of them, and thou shalt not cut them down. For the tree of the field is man's life, to employ them in the siege. Only the trees which thou knowest be not for meat, thou shalt destroy and cut them down, and thou shalt build bulwarks against the city that marketh war with thee, until it be subdued. So of those cities, he's saying, don't cut down the trees that bear fruit, like banana trees, or I don't know, apple trees, whatever. Just cut down the trees that aren't useful, and build like barricades as like a sign of war among the edge of the city until you subdue them. But the Jebusites, the Havitites, the Perizzites, the Canaanites, the Amorites, they don't get no pass. They gotta go. Okay, chapter 21. If one be found slain in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee to possess it, lying in the field, and be not known who have slain him, then the elders and thy judges shall come forth, and they shall measure unto the cities which are round about him that is slain. And it shall be that the city which is next unto the slain man, even the elders of that city shall take an heifer, which hath not been wrought with, and which hath not drawn the yoke, and the elders of that city shall bring down that heifer unto the rough valley, which is neither eared nor sown, and shall strike off the heifer's neck there in the valley. And the priests of the sons of Levi shall come near, for the Lord thy God have chosen to minister unto him, and to bless in the name of the Lord. And my phone's ringing. We'll call him back. And to bless in the name of the Lord, and their word shall every controversy and every stroke be tied, and all the elders of the city that are next unto the slain man shall wash their hands over the heifer that is beheaded in the valley, and they shall answer and say, our hands have not shed this blood, neither have our eyes seen it. Be merciful, O Lord, unto thy people Israel, who thou hast redeemed. And lay not innocent blood unto thy people of Israel's charge, and the blood shall be forgiven them. So thou shalt put away guilt of innocent blood from among you. And when thou shalt do which is right in the sight of the Lord, when thou goest forth to war against thine enemies, and the Lord thy God hath delivered them into thy hands, and thou have taken them captives, and seest among the captives a beautiful woman, and has a desire unto her, then thou wouldest have her to thy wife. Then thou shalt bring her home to thine house, and she shall shave her head and prepare her nails, and she shall put the raiment of her captivity from off of her, and shall remain in thine house, and bewail her father and her mother a full month. And after that thou shalt go in unto her and her husband, and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife. And it shall be, if thou have no delight in her, then thou shalt let her go whether she will, but thou shalt not sell her at all for money. Thou shalt not make merchandise of her, because thou hast humbled her. So that's saying, if you see a dame and you like, I want that, you take her as your wife, great. And then you humble her, or come into her, however you want to call it. You tap that and you ain't satisfied for whatever reason. You know, if she got an attitude problem, she talk too much, whatever it is. If you done tap that, you can't sell her or try to put her away for merchandise, because you've humbled her. You've taken her value as a woman. So you can't try to sell her. If a man have two wives, one beloved and another hated, and they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated, and if the firstborn son be hers that was hated, then it shall be, when he maketh his sons to inherit that which he hath, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before his son of the which he hated is indeed the firstborn, but he shall acknowledge the son of the hated for the firstborn by giving him a double portion of all that he hath, for he is the beginning of his strength. The right of his firstborn is his. If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastened him will not hearken unto them, then shall his father and his mother lay hold unto him, and bring him unto the elders of the city, and unto the gates of his place. And they shall say unto the elders of the city, our son is stubborn and rebellious, he will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard, and all the men of his city shall stone him with stones, that he die. So shalt thou put evil away from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear. And if a man have committed a sin worthy of death, and he be put to death, and thou hang him on a tree, his body shall not remain all night upon the tree, but thou shalt in any wise bury him that day. For he that is hanged is accursed of God, that thy land be not defiled, which the Lord thy God giveth thee for inheritance. That's the end of chapter 21. That hit right here. So we're getting further into Deuteronomy, and as we're going over these Levitical laws, even though it may seem a little bit repetitive, because I know y'all was like, man, we went all the way through Leviticus and that was hard to get through. Yes, but take this repeat information with a fresh set of eyes, because there's things in here that's not said before, and it's gonna hit. And that hit for me, being a black woman living in America. Accursed of trees, it's like, you know, psychologically that's just gonna automatically kind of create a connection and resonate for me. But y'all just keep reading. We're gonna get into further into Deuteronomy, and your eyes gonna be like, what? Okay, so chapter 22. Thou shalt not see thy brother's ox or his sheep go astray, and hide thyself from them. Thou shalt in any case bring them again unto thy brother. And if thy brother be not nigh unto thee, or if thou know him not, then thou shalt bring him unto thine own house, and it shall be with thee until thy brother seek after it, and thou shalt restore it to him again. In like manner thou shalt do with his ass, and so shalt thou do with his raiment, and with all lost things of thy brothers which he hath lost and hath found. Thou shalt do likewise thou mayest not hide thyself. Thou shalt not see thy brother's ass or thy axe or ox fall down by the way, and hide thyself from them, but thou shalt surely help him and lift him up again. So if you find somebody's stuff, you give it back to them. If you don't know whose it is or where it's at, you keep it, and then when they come looking for it, you give it back to them when they ask about it. Okay. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are an abomination unto the Lord thy God. If a bird, we ain't gonna touch on that. Cross-dressing, it's an abomination. Nigga, get out them heels. Heels is not made for you. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. If a bird's nest chance to be before in the way of any tree or on the ground, whether they be young ones or eggs, y'all stop taping y'all titties down too. I ain't gonna pass over that. I ain't biased. It goes both ways. Dudes stop wearing heels, and broads stop taping their titties down. Now, if a bird's nest chance to be before thee in the way in any tree or on the ground, or whether it be the young ones or the eggs, or the dame sitting upon the young or upon the eggs, thou shalt not take the dame with the young, but thou shalt in any wise let the dame go and take the young to thee, that it may be well with thee, and that thou mayest prolong thy days. When thou buildest a new house, and when thou shalt make a battlement for thy roof, that thou bring not blood upon thine house, if any man fall from thence. Thou shalt not sow thy vineyard with diverse seeds, lest the fruits of thy seeds which thou hast sown and the fruit of the vineyard be defiled. Thou shalt not plow with an ox and an ass together. Thou shalt not wear garment of diverse sorts, as of woolen and linen together. Thou shalt make three fringes. Thou shalt make thee fringes upon the four quarters of thy vesture, wherewith thou coverest thyself. If any man take a wife and go into her and hate her, and give occasions of speech against her, and bring up an evil name upon her, and say, I took this woman, and when I came to her I found her not a maid, then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the token of the damsel's virginity unto the elders of the city of the gate. And the damsel's father shall say unto the elder, I have my daughter unto this man to wife, and he hath her, and lo, he hath given occasion of speech against her, saying, I found not that thy daughter a maid, and yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity. And they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city, and the elders of the city shall take that the man and chastise him, and they shall amiss him 100 shekels of silver, and give them unto the father of the damsel, because he hath brought up an evil name upon a virgin of Israel, and she shall be his wife. He may not put her away all his days. But if this thing be true, and the tokens of her virginity be not found for the damsel, then they shall bring out the damsel unto the door of her father's house, and the men of her city shall stone her with stones, and she die, because he hath wrought folly in Israel, to play the whore in her father's house. So shalt thou put evil away from among you. If a man be found lying with a woman married to an husband, then both of them shall die, both the man that lie with the woman and the woman. So shalt thou put away evil from Israel. If a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed unto a husband, and a man find her in the city and lie with her, then ye shall bring them both unto the gate of that city, and ye shall stone them with stones, that they die. And the damsel, because she cried not, being in the city, and the man, because he hath humbled thy neighbor's wife, so thou shalt put away evil from among you. But if a man find and betroth a damsel in the field, in the manner, and the man force her and lie with her, and then only the man that lie with her shall die. But unto the damsel that thou shalt do nothing, there is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For when a man raiseth up against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this manner. For he found her in the field, and he betrothed damsel's cry, and there was none to save her. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold unto her and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lie with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he hath humbled her. He may not put her away all his days. A man shall not take his father's wife, nor divorce his father's skirt. Okay, that's the end of chapter 22. Okay, so we getting through it. So I know this is a lot of overviewing. It's almost giving us like a refresh of Leviticus, but it's important, and don't think you can just kind of skip by it. Take the time to really read and delve into it, even though it may seem repetitive, because you're still going to see something that you didn't see in there before. So super excited. We busting out Deuteronomy. That was chapters 17 through 22. We're going to pick up and do 23 through 27. So again, thank y'all for spending some more time with me with Kickback Bible Study. I pray that your study habits are improving. Your relationship with God is being fortified through the studying and getting to know his word. I will see y'all next time.